Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all click the like button and subscribe if y'all are new. Thank y'all for being here. I see a lot of you guys waiting. Okay, I'm here. So we're going to be talking about mean women get more than nice women. Everyone knows this is true. I can vouch for it. When I was my nicest, I got less. When I was my meanest, I got more. Okay. I'm just trying to help y'all. So, mean women typically means that you have standards, that you don't take no BS, and that you want what you want and you said what you said. And if they can't deliver, then you're going to be upset about it until you get your way. This is the definition of what most men call mean women. And a lot of men secretly like mean women because it makes them better as a man. It teaches the man how to treat you. And it also gives them a challenge. And it also feels like their job is never done, so they must continue on. It also engages them in an emotional connection to you because even anger or being mean to someone angers them, which is still an emotion. So if you allow them to feel some type of emotion, even if it's anger towards you, you're still luring them in. Okay?
Yeah, that's called emotional abuse and trauma bonding. This is supposed to be advice for who? Narcissists and sociopaths? And that bit at the beginning about not getting your own way, so you start kicking and screaming until you do. If you close your eyes and say that out loud, you can almost mistake it for a spoiled 5-year-old child. Emotional intelligence has left the chat. Anyone who can sit and listen to this for a prolonged period of time is mentally and emotionally stunted, and I would bet money grew up in a broken and unhealthy home and still hasn't done the work to heal and to grow up, and so they are still children trapped in adult bodies. It is a sickness. Even the top comment on the video, liked by Shera herself, no surprise there. My aunt was mean as hell. Her husband works 2 full-time jobs while she lays at home being mean all day. He ain't going nowhere. That is an abusive relationship. And these ladies are sitting on here talking like it's a good thing, like it's empowerment. And yet these same hypocrites would lose their minds if the shoe was placed on the other foot. Imagine a comment talking about a man who is being mean to his wife to get as much out of her as he can. He is mean and aggressive and has her doing everything around the home so he doesn't have to lift a finger. So based on the same logic, does that mean that women like mean men more? Because mean men align with the types of women who are more likely to endure and enable abusive behavior? Go back and listen to that clip again, but imagine it as a man giving advice to men. Being mean to women makes women better. It teaches them how to treat you. It gives them a challenge and it makes them feel like their job is never done, etc. But maybe Shera's right. Maybe her business model could work. If I were to apply this same energy to men's advice, I could start coaching men on how to be mean and abusive and manipulative so that they can finally find their perfect doormat. Do any of these women own a mirror? Although I wonder how many of them actually look good in one anyways, but okay, now I'm just being petty, but honestly, let's be real. The types of men who have access to rosters of women, handsome, successful, confident players, they aren't online listening to Fresh and Fit. They are too busy living that life. Same goes for the type of women who spend their lives being flown around from yacht to yacht. They aren't online listening to SheraSeven. They are living the sprinkle, sprinkle life. This type of content is mostly meant to stir up and entertain and grift off of the bottom half of the barrel of the chronically online men and women. I haven't even gotten through 2 minutes yet, but the vibe and tone literally feels like garbage in my spirit. And I think most people with an average or above level of emotional awareness can also feel that. And then there's all the women in the comments talking about how being nice only got them played and hurt. Even Shera herself admitted that was her story too. So this just sounds a lot like hurt people hurting other people to me. The problem is these women don't understand what it means to be nice. They are confusing being nice with a lack of boundaries and morals and identity, and with self-abandonment, people-pleasing, and compromising themselves for acceptance and approval, losing themselves in relationships to avoid rejection and pain and fear. That is not being nice. That is not even a nice person. That is an unhealed and unhealthy person. Do these people not have the mental facilities to be able to take 2 steps back and see that this whole mean girls finish first idea is an exact reflection to the men on the other side of the coin? The cliche is literally nice guys finish last. And men always talk about how women prefer assholes. But these guys and girls were never nice in the first place. Nice guys aren't even nice. In reality, they are men without boundaries and backbones who jump through hoops and allow their partners to abuse and disrespect and mistreat them. They are men who have no self-worth or confidence and never say what they mean or mean what they say. They are incapable and weak and harmless, and they are still children mentally and emotionally. They are men who are looking for their mothers. Neither of these men and women are nice. They are lost and looking for their mommies and daddies and trying to find their self-worth and identity in other people and materialism. And I'm saying this as the guy who was the quote-unquote nice guy once upon a time, who got hurt a few times and then became the monster myself. I lived it, and I'm telling you, these people wouldn't know a boundary if they crossed one. People who don't have boundaries will always align with people who disrespect boundaries. I want to make this concept abundantly clear. Imagine there is a nice country that has no borders, no foreign policies, no sovereignty, no military. It's just a piece of land with desirable resources on it. So what happens when another country decides to cross those non-existent borders and start taking all of the resources and colonizing the area? At some point, the nice country starts to feel depleted and gets tired of being used. So what do? Do they tell the profiting nation about the non-existent borders that were never there in the first place? Do they try telling them about their boundaries and policies and what is right and what is wrong? What happens when the nice country finally stops making empty threats, puts their foot down, and says no more? Inevitably, a war will break out, and now the once nice country will fight for their sovereignty against a nation who has no intention of ever respecting that. They only care about keeping their profits. Or they can hope that some other country will save them or take them in, or they can flee the country altogether and face the unknown of being displaced without any sense of identity and try to start all over again. And odds are now this once nice country starts building a military and walls and defenses and becomes fluent in the art of war, maybe even to the point of becoming an aggressor themselves, promising to never be conquered and victimized again. This is exactly what you see with people on an individual relationship level. So I hope you are keeping up with this concept, because when a person goes through the warfare of pain and fear and rejection, they often try to cope with it and avoid it in the future through overcorrection. The problem with overcorrection, though, is that it's often as dangerous as the initial mistake, if not more. Everything becomes about power and safety and self-preservation and selfishness. They will abuse in one moment and play victim the next. Anything to get what they want and to make sure that they never feel like someone else has even a modicum of leverage or the upper hand at any point ever. They must hold all the cards, because that is the only way that they will feel safe and secure within themselves. As you can imagine, such a mentality makes healthy relationships impossible. And that is what SheraSeven and her target audience is. Let's call a spade, no shade. I was going to watch a bit more of that live, but I've already said a lot. And what more do I really need to see or say? I have essentially debunked and diagnosed her entire platform, shtick, and audience. So anything else is just sticks and stones for entertainment purposes. But I'm not enjoying myself much right now. I'm actually just thinking about how All of these women were once little girls who just wanted to be loved and cherished and to feel safe, but now have become these bitter, selfish creatures who lack self-worth and empathy, who have decided that materialism and money equates to their value as human beings. It is a cope, and it is genuinely sad. I really can't imagine feeling like I need money to be spent on me to feel valuable, but also while knowing hardly any of the people who are treating me like a vending machine truly care about me as a person, or being with people I don't even like and that I'm not attracted to, compromising myself just so I can get things from them and then try to convince the world that I love my life. Couldn't be me. Coincidentally, I came across this post earlier today. The first woman says, "Men really go overseas for prostitutes." And then the response is, because the prostitutes in the USA, for some reason, don't believe that they're prostitutes. Composure. Now, I want to address the men specifically for a moment. It's easy to feel some type of way about this type of content and start feeling a deeply negative bias towards women, and that is a slippery slope that will only harm your life. There are lots of good women out there, but you will not meet any of them watching YouTube. So at least find the dark humor in it. One way to do that is to sarcastically point out the ridiculousness and the sheer hypocrisy instead of getting pressed. There's a new trend on TikTok, for example, going viral right now, where men are reenacting the sprinkle content like Shera's. It's been dubbed the soft guy era. And instead of saying sprinkle, they say drizzle. It is satirical, but it's also not. But the really funny part is seeing how many women's minds are short-circuiting over it. They are getting so triggered, and it is hilarious. Sometimes eating our own words doesn't taste so good. May the pendulum swing. And I also just wanted to say something else. There's a reason why you will almost never see a sprinkle girly show or speak about her man proudly and publicly, because such women are incapable of aligning with healthy, desirable men of whom they can be proud, because they are not the type of women that healthy, desirable men would be publicly proud of either. These are not relationships built on values and respect and desire, but if that is what you want, go ahead and play yourself. Our relationships are a reflection of ourselves. Such women can only trade their body in exchange for money to get with tricks who won't be loyal and will trade them in for a shiny new toy at some point. Or they can manipulate desperate, spineless simps who will put them on a pedestal and bend over backwards no matter how poorly he is treated, no matter how much she takes until maybe one day he finally snaps and starts saying no more, and a civil war breaks out, and once again the vicious cycle repeats itself, especially if these people have also brought children into their mess. Those generational chains have y'all in a chokehold and a blindfold, it would seem. I'll leave you with a few bonus clips for your education and entertainment. Consider it a nail in the proverbial coffin. If you have any questions or perspectives to share, leave them below.
Being married to old men is boring. We already know that. But I think a lot of other ladies would like to hear, how it is to be married to an old man. Because I am married to an old man. I thought I'd be the best one. Hey. Well, at first it wasn't, because he wasn't as old. But now he's getting old and up there. So it's getting extra boring. The thing is, like, you don't have to stay bored. You can do stuff. I do stuff with my kids. I do stuff, take vacations and all that kind of stuff. So we already know what it was all about in the first place. So into something different.
Come on, 5 minutes right now.
What? Oh, James mad because he hear me.
5 minutes right
I'm
now.
live, James. I'm gonna interrupt you on your part, and I'm gonna come in there looking ratchet with a bonnet on and everything. Okay. Anyway.
Just send me the website.
Okay. What website?
The website that gets you divorced.
Okay.
And now it's the home. Everything else is yours.
Okay, thank you. I am live, James. I don't interrupt you when you doing your boring stuff. Leave me alone. Oh, he don't know what's going on half the time. He be asleep, y'all. That's another thing. I could have a whole nother boyfriend. He wouldn't even know. because he sleep most of the time. Like he would wake up like, huh? What's going on? Nothing. Go back to sleep. He came back begging, calling me on the phone, begging me to come back, just begging. And I'm like, no, will you just meet me out for dinner, please? I just want to see you one more time. Just one more time. It's like, where are we going to eat? You know, food is always the weakness. So I meet him out. We eat. I order me whatever I want. Y'all know that. Some scrimp, some champagne, you know. He gave me like a big thing of red roses in a crystal vase. And he's like, please, I love you. I want you to be with me. I'm getting rid of everybody. I got rid of everybody for you. I promise. I'm like, nope. I gotta go. So I had the roses in the back seat of my car. He gets mad, takes the roses and like tries to take them back. And then he like drops them and breaks the glass in the parking lot somewhere. He gets in his car and just sits there like this while I drive off. I like, honestly, I've never probably had a mutual, equal type of relationship. And we already know that. So it's not something that I know how to give advice for, because I can't tell you how it's done, because I never had one.